This video is for entertainment purposes only.
The more I dug into it, I realized that the Black Knight satellite is just an object that's still orbiting our planet right now. It's on NASA's servers, but they call it space junk. The STS-88 mission did a flyby and caught a great HD image of this thing. It's about estimated 15 tons. They won't mess with it because it makes no sense to mess with it. You don't know what type of self-defense system or mechanism this thing may have. I believe that this thing is watching us, and I believe that it's using quantum entanglement to transmit everything in real time, what's going on Earth, back to home base at Boetis.
Thanks for tuning into another episode of Quik Reaction TV, the coolest channel on YouTube. If you're new to the channel, please like, subscribe, and rock the bell for new releases. It's free and helps the channel grow. I've got a wild selection today. Quik!
Element 115 is a super heavy element. We've only just recently synthesized, we only made 4 atoms of it. The craft uses larger quantities of it, 223 gram little triangles of it. But it's a unique element. When it's exposed to radiation, it produces its own gravitational field, its own anti-gravitational field, and it's what's used to lift and propel the craft and create distortions around it. It's an amazing material, and it's certainly nothing that occurs here or naturally.
And it can be weaponized, and that's kind of the issue here. If this story is all true, that can be weaponized.
Absolutely. I mean, we ran all kinds of tests on it, everything from atomic absorption, X-ray fluorescence, and every kind of test you could possibly imagine, and bombarded it with radiation to see what effects it would have. They call that neutron activation, but it was a stable element, something we had never seen before.
In 1991, an intelligence official said to me, he said, "Dr. Greer, if you tell the public the truth about this, you will be discredited because the truth is much more bizarre than the fiction we've been selling." I am not going to any longer hold back on what the full information on this is, because this is all coming out now. I mean, even the mainstream media is covering it with their spin and filters. But the Congress and people in the Pentagon who are looking into this in great depth are now finding out about this. And so, we don't have another decade or even another year or two, I think, to fritter time away. I think we're going to have to move quickly. And yes, it's going to be a bit of a future shock to people, but it's got to happen, because the world most people believe now is the equivalent of the sun went around the earth. And remember, 500 years ago, Galileo was excommunicated by the church for daring to suggest that the planets went around the sun.
Facts! It's facts! It's not facts. These science are not facts.
Not alone. We've recovered material, and we've recovered the occupants. And beyond that, the president can decide what should be disclosed. It's above my pay grade.
Can you just give us a sense of the scale of these recoveries? It's like 3, or is it...
It is double digit, and I've mentioned that publicly. I am familiar with the exact numbers. We had multiple intel officers brief us on all the numbers and where, what, when, where, how.
Where is all the stuff kept? I mean, I assume...
I do know of some specific locations.
Boeing Raytheon warehouse.
Yeah,
somewhere.
I mean, Harry Reid knew about one specific location, and that was the material that he was denied access to.
Why didn't he show up with armed guards and demand to see it? I don't understand. Everyone's so passive.
Yeah.
Like, you're the Senate Majority Leader. Show it to me now.
Yeah, you would think that there's some kind of enforcement tactic he could have used. He was trying to get access administratively by sponsoring that special access program.
So that kind of raises an interesting, having spent my life in Washington, you hear this stuff, you don't really know if it's true, about unauthorized and dark things going on in the United States to people who tell its secrets.
We're looking at the Black Knight satellite. This object was first reported in 1954, years before any country had the technology to launch a satellite into orbit. According to some, this is actually what kicked off the space race between the US and the Soviets. In February of 1960, Time magazine reported that the US Navy had detected a dark object thought to be a Soviet spy satellite in orbit. According to some UFO researchers, this satellite is actually a surveillance drone, put there 13,000 years ago by some unknown alien race. The official explanation from NASA is that this satellite is nothing more than an insulated space blanket. What do you guys think it is?
Boy, if you don't get...
Drop your thoughts in the comments below.
The truth about falling stars. Let's get straight into it. So NASA told us that falling stars are basically dying stars or shooting stars, etc. But in the Bible it tells us how these stars that are falling are actually demons that were trapped in the firmament, are angels. When they fall, it is because they have nothing else to hold on to, or because they are being cast down or cursed. This is footage currently from Italy with stars falling from the sky, and everybody's asking questions on what is happening or what's going on, and they think it's aliens. For those who still don't understand, read this. It is also said when humans worship the creation instead of the creator, things like this happen when they worship things like the sun and the moon. And it also is said that stars, the sun and the moon, have a firm place. They're stuck there for eternity, so they cannot fall. So look at this video, pay attention, and take in the knowledge for those who still don't understand.
Therefore, having heard this glorified the Lord God. And again I questioned the demons, saying, tell me how you can ascend into heaven, being demons, and amidst the stars and the holy angels intermingle. And he answered, just as things are fulfilled in heaven, so also on earth are fulfilled the types of all of them. For there are principalities, authorities, world rulers, and we demons fly about in the air. And we hear the voices of the heavenly beings and survey all powers, as having no ground or bases on which to alight and rest. We lose strength and fall off like leaves from trees, and men, seeing us, imagine that the stars are falling from heaven. But it is not really so, King, but we fall because of our weakness, and because we have nowhere anything to lay hold of. And so we fall down like lightnings in the depth of night, and suddenly, and we set cities in flames and fires of fields. For the stars have firm foundations in the heaven, like the sun and the moon. Now, did you pay attention what that said right there? For the stars have firm foundations in the heaven.
Oh, man. Damn.
I got it.
Okay, so a few nights ago, over 50 cops and helicopters were called over in a shopping mall area in Miami, Florida. Why were there so many cops? This is just rumors and witness reports that there were 7 to 10 feet tall creatures and beings running around the shopping area and attacking people. Now, the other report is there was a few gangs fighting amongst the shopping area and teenagers running around fighting each other with sticks and stuff. So you're telling me that many cops and helicopters came for a little teenage gang fight? And why were there so many flight delays in Miami that day? All of this wasn't even being reported by the media and covered up by that whole Epstein list.
Interesting facts you didn't know. Only geniuses can answer the last question. Your keyboard's layout was designed to
This lady has photographic evidence that Jesus is real. While on board an airplane, a lady and her friend were suddenly in the midst of chaos as an intense lightning storm hit. The plane started shaking violently. People were screaming, and the oxygen mask fell from the ceiling. In a last-ditch attempt, the lady prayed and said, Jesus, you calmed the storm 2,000 years ago. Do it for us again today. And within 2 minutes of saying that prayer, the plane leveled off. The lady recounted that a still voice told her to press her film camera against the window and take a picture, and what she captured was amazing. As she went to develop the photo after the trip, the man who developed the photo just asked her one question: where did you get this photo? As she recounted this story to him, he pulled the photo out, and standing in the midst of the storm was a man in a white robe. Till this day, no one knows what the lady actually encountered, but some people say that.
The more I dug into it, I realized that the Black Knight satellite is just an object that's still orbiting our planet right now. It's on NASA's servers, but they call it space junk. The STS-88 mission did a flyby and caught a great HD image of this thing. It's about estimated 15 tons. They won't mess with it because it makes no sense to mess with it. You don't know what type of self-defense system or mechanism this thing may have. I believe that this thing is watching.
If you swim in this, you will die.
100% fatality rate. Every motherfucker who ended up in there has died.
You may not believe it, but this guy is 100% correct. Falling into this is basically a death sentence. This TikTok went viral recently of a guy exploring this dam and explaining how every single person that fell into it died. You might be looking at this and thinking, wow, I could definitely swim in this easily. But I'm here to tell you, you can't. You literally have no chance of surviving swimming in this. This dam is located in Pennsylvania and it's known as the Dock Street Dam. And since 1935, it's taken the lives of 30 people. Granted, this water is not moving very quickly, so it has the illusion of appearing safe. But the way that this wall is built right here is what makes it so deadly. This dam is known as something called a low-head dam. And low-head dams create something known as backwash, which is basically like a washing machine. And if you fall into the water, you're gonna go around in circles until you eventually end up drowning and dying. Backwash is extremely difficult to get out of, so the best course of action here is to stay out of the water. So if you ever see this dam or a dam like it, never go into it.
So,
Damn!
Drop your thoughts in the comments below.
What if I told you this TV show is using black magic and we all are under a spell right now? Would you believe it? The writers of this TV show don't predict nothing. They can't see into the future, but we can. So they use us to make it manifest. If you understand what was happening in 2023, you will be able to see what's going to happen in 2024. It's all about magic. In 2023, they had a new king of England. Mexico released all kind of aliens. We had people that's vanishing out of nowhere. They said September 23 will be the end of the world. October 4th, they sent a national alert out to everyone's phone in America. People are now eating lab-grown meat. They still eat it, and they know it's still lab-grown. People in Peru had aliens attack them. Woke people are waiting for the Anunnaki to come back and save them. We had a blue supermoon that we might not ever see again. After the blue supermoon, we had a harvest moon. We about to have a solar eclipse. All these events I just named in 2023, this cartoon predicted. No, they didn't predict. They made us predict it. When people say, I'm woke, and they say, you're asleep, all they really saying is you are under a deep spell. Every time you spell your name, you are under a spell. Every time you write your name in cursive, you are putting a curse on yourself. Everything in this language is dealing with curses and spells to trap your energy. If you want to know what's going to happen next, it's the same shit that happened before. They even said it was demonic to use magic spells. Wait, so they can use magic spells on us and it's okay. But if we use it, it's demonic. Please make it make sense. In order to protect your energy, to stop making things manifest, you can't let them get the best of you. But when something takes place in the world and you speak about it, you are actually changing different realities. We create with our mind. We have energy fields, aura fields, chakras, or even a Merkaba that surround our bodies to actually protect us. But if you have a weak aura field, nothing can protect you. If you have no protection, they can put seeds in your mind and create their TV show realities. They're not predicting nothing. We do it every time we watch it. And they use our avatars or our physical bodies like they are avatars. Every time they put something out there in the world, they are literally poking us, and we create it.
Whoa, calm down, Jamal. Don't pull out the 9.
When is the collapse, the dimensional collapse, starting? Is it already starting?
It's already started.
With the sound and the color?
Okay. It's already started. Thank you for leading me here. What you're going to start hearing about in the very near future are something called rods. And they will be something that will be videotaped, and what you will see are large streaks just shooting through the air that are etheric, but are being able to be captured on tape. And what you're seeing is literally fourth and fifth dimensional craft moving through space, not having the slightest clue that they're flying right through us. Okay? And that's because you're beginning to see the implosion. It's great stuff.
And ghosts?
Yes, you will see more ghosts, more apparitions, because those that are stuck between third and fourth density will start being more and more visible as our frequency starts to raise and rise. A lot of them, unless they are healed, and I do not know how to do that, how to set them free from their self-imposed prisons, will be exiting, transitioning. Angels, folks, be very careful about somebody who tells you they're an angel. For example, I've asked about the archangels, and the Andromedan perspective of that is that the archangel Michael was literally a fleet of craft that were called Mikael. That was the name of the fleet. And they used to patrol the northern hemisphere of the planet when Orion was here in full force. Gabriel was the name of another fleet of craft, and so on and so forth. It has been changed and created into something that will save you and rescue you, when in fact, that was not the original intent at all. Okay. What's going to happen in the next 10 years? I will share this with you. There are definitely some things underneath the Sphinx, but the bulk of the real stuff that will tell us about our ancient history is still underneath the pyramid. And there was a vault built 3 levels deep, and the pyramid was built over it. Okay, that's where the real juice is. That's where the real knowledge is. The Sphinx will have some things, but it's a distraction. You know, these guys are real good at what they do, at diverting attention from reality, from truth. They're excellent at it. If they put that much energy into telling the truth, God, we'd all be out of here. You know? Okay, hold on one sec. I don't have it somewhere. Okay, things that are going to happen in the next 10 years. Number one, we're going to truly find out who we are genetically. Information will be coming from all corners of the earth from contactees. There will be more and more contacts, and they will tell us about the 22 different races and more of our history. There will also be massive earth changes. They will start with a magnetic pole shift, which could happen anytime between now and the year 2001. Things have been sped up. We're already starting to see the magnetic poles shift as we see birds migrate in the wrong direction at the wrong times of year. The birds move along the Earth's magnetic grid lines. And I wanted to share something with you. I'm very fascinated with the Native Americans. And I love to collect feathers when I find them on my journeys and my vision quests. And I was given this on 3/19 of 94, and I just want to share this with you. It's primarily about the Native Americans and the original intent behind them wearing the feather. In the ancient way, your native red American races understood the nature of the birds. The birds are very sensitive to magnetic fields and microwave energy, as you call it. They will migrate along the Earth energy grids, and their wings, which are made up primarily of feathers, were to be watched as they were very sensitive. To watch and follow the birds is to know which way the Earth's magnetic flows are moving. They would also, the Native American races, camp off these magnetic flows because the radiation would become harmful in time. The feathers are very sensitive to energy fields and magnetic fields. They are, in fact, an antenna. The feather would attract telepathic communication with all the tribe. As the chief would think or quietly discuss plans, the rest of the tribe would, in the ancient days, receive the message with few or no words.
My nigga. If you made it this far, I appreciate you all. Subscribe, like, and comment your thoughts on today's video. I'll see you in the next one. Quik.